Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jason with devslopes.com, and in this video we're going to talk about the difference between front-end and back-end development. So you've just started learning web development and you keep hearing these terms tossed around, front-end and back-end development. Now while front-end and back-end development are very distinct from one another, they both play a very important role in web development. It's really like two sides of the same coin. In order for a website to function and operate correctly, it's going to depend on both front-end and back-end operating and working together as a single unit. Now, is one more important than the other? No, but they do both play very important roles in web development. The front end of a website is everything that you see and interact with on the browser. It's also known as the client side. Now, let's say that you decide to start your own business. All right, you want to start this really cool skateboarding business and you need a website for all your customers to find out where you're located and to see some of the products that you have. Now, doing something like this, probably only going to need a few photos and some information and pictures of products that you might be selling. All right, all of this is only going to require some front-end technology. These three languages will do the trick. HTML, the fundamental coding language that will create and display web content in the browser. CSS, which accompanies HTML. This is going to style all of our web content, such as the layouts, colors, fonts. And then you have JavaScript, a programming language used for more interactive elements like drop-down menus, pop-up modals, and contact forms. And together, these essentials create everything that you see when you visit a web page. In addition to basic front-end languages, you'll also come across other frameworks like Bootstrap and Angular. And then there's JavaScript libraries like jQuery and CSS extensions like Sass and Less. There's a long list of these resources which support HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Their purpose is to simply make code or the process of writing it more organized and manageable by providing all these other tools and templates that are compatible with these common programming languages. Let's fast forward a few months. Your skate website looks great, business is booming, and now you've got customers who live far away from your business who want to order your skate stuff. Well, they're asking you now, hey, I need an online store. I want to buy your product. So what do? Well, duh, open up an online store. But now what does this mean? All of a sudden, you need a place for your users to have user profiles, to make accounts, to have purchase history, to be able to process credit cards and more. So this is where backend comes into play. So far, what we have is an example of our static site. Okay, it's just a place that displays information and pictures, and it doesn't really change much. And static websites are great for showcasing a business or your portfolio or a landing page for something. But now that our website is expanding and we need users to interact with it, there's a few more things that we need to bring into play here. The backend or the server side is the portion of the website that you don't see. It's responsible for storing and organizing data and ensuring that everything on the client side actually works. So the backend communicates with the front end, sending and receiving information to be displayed on the web page. So whenever you fill out a contact form or type in a web address or do a Google search, basically any interaction on the client side, your browser sends a request server side, which returns information in the form of code that can be interpreted by the browser to display. So now our new website needs backend components to make it a dynamic web application. So a website's whose content can be changed based on what's in the database or modified by user input. This is very distinct from a static web page, which doesn't require a database because its information and its content doesn't generally change. So now our website is going to need a database to store all this user information and purchase history. So some widely used databases are Firebase, MongoDB, MySQL, and then on the client side of the website, we're still going to have all that front-end code to manage the data, but we're also going to need a programming language to be the middleman. Some common back-end languages are Ruby, Java, and Python. And with all of this working together correctly, what that means is a customer is going to be able to visit our website and client side type into the search bar and make a request to the server to search through the database and then retrieve that information and display it again on the client side for our customer. So that is the distinct difference between front-end and back-end development, and together those two are what bring full functionality to a website. So now you've got a dynamic website that uses both front-end and back-end technologies. You use front-end languages to make the website look great and easy to navigate. And then behind the scenes, you've got your back-end, which stores all the data and holds together all the front-end components. So you can see that both play very different roles, but it's when they work together that ultimately defines the user experience and even makes it possible for a website to function. So that's the difference between front-end and back-end.